It's my honor this morning to present the SSERVI Angioletta Coradini Mid-Career Award to Dr. Jennifer Heldmann. This is an award given annually to mid-career scientists for broad, lasting accomplishments related to SSERVI and the SSERVI's fields of interest. Dr. Heldmann received her BS in astrogeophysics from Colgate University, a master's degree from North Dakota in space studies, and her PhD in planetary science from the University of Colorado at Boulder, where she studied Martian gullies. Her scientific research is focused on the study of Moon and Mars, the latter of which we've decided to formally forgive her for. She is involved in the planning of future human exploration of Mars and has served on multiple Mars Exploration Program Analysis Group special action teams. And she also was the SMD Science Mission Directorate lead for the Optimizing Science and Exploration Working Group, which connected SMD science objectives with NASA's human exploration goals. In addition to these planning activities, she actively participates in research and field programs and was the, and she was also the observation campaign coordinator for NASA's LCROSS mission to study the permanently shadowed regions of the moon. She's the principal investigator of SSERVI's Finesse team, as well as the new, one of the new SSERVI Can3 teams, and she is a PI and co-I on numerous other NASA projects and grants. And on a personal note, she, yeah, I got the head shake. She was recently inducted into the Space Camp Hall of Fame, and she's got a wonderful jacket to prove it. So with that, please join me in welcoming and honoring Dr. Jennifer Heldmann.
I think Brad was nice because he knew I had the floor next, so it could have been worse. Thank you very much for coming, and I'm very honored to even be up here and receive this award. And I have to admit, when Greg called to tell me this, I hope I didn't sound ungrateful, because I nominate people for awards like this, so I thought he was calling to tell me someone I nominated was winning, and then he said it was me, and I was, what? So thank you for that. And when I was doing a little bit of thinking about this talk, I did some research on Dr. Coradini, and I'm very honored to be up here and receiving the award in her honor. She did a tremendous amount in planetary science. She was involved in Cassini, in Rosetta, Dawn, Juno, Venus Express, Bepi Colombo, worked with lunar samples, just a tremendous planetary science career. So I'm very honored to receive this award. And then to top it off, Dr. Barbara Cohen won this last year, who's someone I really respect and admire and look up to. So thank you for that. And when I was thinking about what to say for this talk, I just kept coming back to the same theme, that really this is not about me. I don't want to tell you all about me. It's really about the community and the community that's being fostered here to allow people like me to be able to do this type of work. And I thought back to how I was able to get to this point in my career. And I've been very fortunate, I think. Going all the way back, I thought about in high school. You know, I'm still in contact with my high school earth science teacher, and she's come to Ames. Can you give me a tour of Ames? Sure. She's come to Huntsville with me. Can we go to the Space and Rocket Center? Sure. It's like having that sort of support behind you. Same thing in college, in undergrad. I was in the astronomy and physics department, and then one semester I took a mega geology class, and I discovered you can do geology of other planets, and like I aced it, and it was awesome, and I wanted to do that. And my professor, who studies quasars and blazars, was like, really wanted me to do that, but he's like, okay. Like, if you want to do planetary science, we'll help you make that happen. So found me planetary science advisors and mentors and projects. That's how I ended up at Ames. There's an internship called the NASA Academy program. So there's a pipeline, there's a system to get you in. And small story, that's where I met this guy named Greg Schmidt for the first time. And he was in a different capacity, 20 plus years ago. He was creating this new field called astrobiology. It didn't exist back then, and then Greg was one of the people that invented it. So you may have heard of it before. And then in grad school, I was also very fortunate because I was working with folks here at Ames. And then I went to grad school and I said, hey, I want to work on, don't kill me, Mars. I want to work on Mars and gullies. And they said, okay, here, we'll help you make that happen. So I've just been very fortunate to have support to be able to do what I've been interested in. And so I feel that I have a responsibility to be able to try and give others the same sorts of opportunities and have other people be able to do what they're interested in as well. So I realize that I have this responsibility now, sort of mid-career-wise. I'm very lucky. I'm in a relatively privileged position in the science world. I'm a civil servant, so that's kind of as stable as it gets, right? So I still have to write proposals and bring in FTEs and do all of those things. But I feel a responsibility for, advocating and supporting others in the community who can't necessarily do that themselves yet, because that was me. And so in thinking about how we're going to go about that, and SSERVI's been a great example of supporting the next generation and providing support mechanisms for people coming up through the ranks to try and do good science and exploration. And so just some thoughts on that. Leadership matters, right? Who's in charge, and the decisions that are being made really matters. And having decision makers that are setting policy and making choices and expectations have to be consistent with the workforce that you have at hand. So having people with similar experiences that have come up through the ranks and being able to set the framework so that people can do their jobs and can excel at it, I think is very important. Because in the end, it's the people that matter. It's the people that make all of this work. And so leadership, when I think about leadership, I think about it as, the ability to make others better when you're around, right? You want your team to work really well, but you also want to make them better when you're not around, and you want them to be able to take that away and then apply those values or those lessons in other realms of other things that they're doing, whether it's on your project or elsewhere. And one of the things that I've been really fortunate to be able to do recently as I sort of take on more management roles without leaving science, is to give people a platform to grow and to spread their wings and to advance in their careers. And that's one of the things that I've found to be the most rewarding, is when you see someone who is starting out and you're able to help, even in a small way, to help them mature and to be able to go on and advance to the next level. So that's been one of the most rewarding things that I've been able to do, and with the help of SSERVI and the rest of the community as well. And in doing that, you've probably heard, there's a quote from Maya Angelou, which always rings through my head. And to paraphrase, people will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And so that's how I try to treat people on my teams and in work and in other realms of life. So anyway, I don't want to take too much time because I know we have to keep to schedule, but I'm very lucky. I feel like I'm in a great point in my career right now because I can still do the science and the technical parts. And then I also have the opportunity, at some level on a management scale, to try and empower others and help others to be able to move up and to highlight them. And like I said in the beginning, to nominate people for awards, not me, but other people for awards. So it's exciting that we can enable the best science, the best exploration. We have to do that now, especially with NASA's plans for going forward to the moon and all the exciting robotic and human exploration that's hopefully around the pike. So I think within this group and within SSERVI and within our community, I've seen it, I tried to embody it. There's a commitment to enabling the top talent, getting the best people in. So that includes diversity, inclusion. It's basically about getting the best people in to do this job. And so with that, forward to the moon.
As Jen mentioned, we've known each other for a long time, and I've told her more than once that at the end of my career, I will look upon helping her get a start as definitely one of my proudest achievements. At least I did one good thing in my career. So thank you, Jen, for all you've done.